Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia Live. Hey, Queenie.
Hey, Doc. How are ya?
I am fantabulous. How are you?
I'm fantabulous too. I love that word.
I wonder if it is a real word. I have
It
to
is
look that up
now.
in the dictionary.
Yeah, my spell check thing doesn't even pop up when I spell it anymore, so it must be real.
Or just wait, it'll change.
Yeah, seriously, spectabulous is the other one I use a lot. So it's either spectabulous or fantabulous. So either one of those days is usually what I've got going on.
You got a lot of lists going on.
Yeah. How was your day?
It was fantabulous.
See, there you go. You can't get past it, can ya?
No, I cannot. No, it was a good day. It's always a good day. Love the weather. The weather has been fantabulous.
See, now you can't even say fantastic correctly.
No, it's been beautiful here. I was hoping it would rain, but unfortunately we didn't get any rain yet. But no, it's been just a nice fall day. The leaves are changing. We're in transition. How about you? How was your day, Queenie?
Absolutely fabulous. And I got the front yard cut, which I did
Good.
intentionally. I'm trying not to cut often, even though when grass grows uneven, it kind of sends me a little teensy bit into orbit. So I'm trying to not cut it every 3 days. I know. Yeah. I have a little bit of an issue when it starts growing crooked. So that's my deal.
I just have this visual of you out with a little yardstick, maybe, or maybe a ruler
Yeah.
measuring. I
That's
don't know if
about
I'm
that's
accurate or
about
not.
how it is, honestly. That is about how it is. Hello to you too. I'm hoping this is Donna or
I
maybe
I
Janet.
I
I
would
don't know.
cheat to look, but
Yeah,
I have a new phone and I don't know how to use it yet.
yeah. Well, then you better not cheat to use it because that's not going to be good if we lose you,
No,
dog.
no, we don't need to lose the phone less than 10 hours since I purchased it.
There you go. Let's not do that.
Nope,
I'm
nope.
sure that you have something fantastic for us tonight. What do you think?
Honestly, I don't, other than just commenting on, like we always do, but it's always a good reminder um, of just, you know, attitude is everything, connecting to God is everything. Um, the whole, He transforms us. He transforms us through the soul, which is our mind, as long as we're spiritually connected to Him. And that I think that makes the difference in times like these, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And soul body spirit connection that you teach us about all the time is so real. And if all of those components are working, your life is just amazing. And He will give you the blessings, the strength to go through whatever it is you're facing. And that's just a lovely revelation.
Yes. Yep. That's all I got.
Well, that's pretty good because now we get to transition into Revelation chapter 10, where we left off last week was we finished Revelation chapter 9. So we're going to get through this entire book. What do you think, Doc?
Well, we'll see what happens, Queenie.
Not tonight for sure, but we will definitely
Yeah,
continue.
I was thinking like, how are we going to do 10 plus chapters in an
No, no,
hour? But
no, not tonight. So that every week I keep track of it, as you might imagine, where we left off last week. So we're good to go.
all right. Hang on just a second. I apologize. I am going through my apps. I thought I had the correct app, and of course, I did not check it. Um, uh, so please hold for just a moment. I'm looking for my Bible app. Because I've got three Bible apps, and one of them is called the U version, which I do Bible studies on, and that is the one that popped up, and I cannot tell the difference between that and the other one because, of course, this is all new on the phone. So I'm wondering if I didn't download the other thinking that I did. So I'm going to let you talk for like 2 seconds while I get another Bible app so I have access other than the message. So,
all right, we started. Welcome everyone to Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. Janice and Donna, we are thrilled that you're with us tonight. As always, we are going to start off tonight on Revelation chapter 10. And what was the angel clothed with? A white robe, linen, sackcloth, a cloud. What was the angel clothed with? A white robe, linen, sackcloth, a cloud.
all right.
If you don't have an app, I can read until you get it.
Revelation 10.
Uh-huh.
What was the angel clothed in?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you better go ahead.
The answer is Revelation 10:1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as if it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Great job, ladies. A cloud it is.
Okay, Queenie, I'm ready.
All right. What was upon the angel's head? A crown of gold, a crown of thorns, a rainbow, a flame of fire. What was upon the angel's head? A crown of gold, a crown of thorns, a rainbow, a flame of fire.
Revelation 10:1 again, and I saw another strong angel coming down out of heaven, clothed with a cloud. And here this version says, and an arch of colored light was round his head.
An arch of colored light. I'll go with that. The angel's feet were as pillars of fire, brass, iron, clay. The angel's feet were as pillars of fire, brass, iron, clay.
Revelation 10:1, and I saw another strong angel coming down out of heaven, clothed with a cloud, and an arch of colored light was round his head, and his face was like the sun, and his feet like the pillars of fire.
There's a lot going on in 10:1, don't you think?
Totally.
Where did the angel put his feet? One on the earth, one on the sea, on the land, on the rock. Where did the angel put his feet? One on the earth, one on the sea, on the land, on the rock.
Revelation 10, verse 2, and he had in his hand a little open book, and he put his right foot on the sea and his left on the earth. And I always think about that was one big angel. I've heard they are very large.
I hope they are, because they've got a lot to do to keep us all guided and going. What was in the angel's hand? A vial of pain, a sharp two-edged sword, a key, a little book. What was in the angel's hand? A vial of pain, a sharp two-edged sword, a key, a little book.
Revelation 10, verse 2, and he had in his hand a little open book.
Good job, ladies. Do they rock or what?
They do.
What was John told when he heard the voices of the seven thunders? Cover your ears, uncover your ears, write them not. What was John told when he heard the voices of the seven thunders? Cover your ears, uncover your ears, write them not.
Revelation 10:4, And when the seven thunders had given out their voices, I was about to put their words down, and a voice from heaven came to my ears, saying, Keep secret the things which the seven thunders said, and do not put them in writing.
Do not put them in writing. Nice job, ladies. And we have Andrea joining us also tonight. Thank you for joining us on Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. The angel swore that there should be this no longer: time, destruction, killings, or sorrow.
Okay, you're going to have to give me a verse, Queenie.
This is 6.
6, okay. All right, Revelation 10, verse 6. And took his oath by him who is living forever and ever, who made the heaven and the things in it, and the earth and the things in it, and the sea and the things in it, that there would be no more waiting.
No more waiting. What was John told to do with this book? Read it, add to it, discard it, eat it. What was John told to do with this book? Read it, add to it, discard it, eat it.
Revelation 10, verse 9. And I went to the angel and said to him, Give me the little book. And he said to me, Put it in your mouth, and it will make your stomach bitter. But in your mouth it will be sweet as honey.
Wowza. Eat it is correcto. In John's mouth it was bitter, sweet, salty, hard. In John's mouth it was bitter, sweet, salty, hard.
I'm guessing that's probably verse 9 again, Queenie?
Yep.
All right. So verse 9 says, And I went to the angels and said to him, Give me the little book. And he said to me, Put it in your mouth, and it will make your stomach bitter, but in your mouth it will be sweet as honey.
Wow. The angel told John, Thou must do this again before many people. Cry, testify, suffer, prophesy. The angel told John, Thou must do this again before many people. Cry, testify, suffer, prophesy.
Revelation 10, verse 11. And they said to me, You are to give word again of what is coming in the future to the peoples and nations and languages and kings.
All three ladies got it right. That takes us through our first chapter, Doc.
All right. Let's see what the message has to say, Queenie.
Ready, set, go.
Please hold.
Uh-oh.
No, it's just a matter of, nothing is organized on this phone, so I'm all over the place. But I found it, so that's good. Revelation 10 in the message reads, I saw another powerful angel coming down out of heaven wrapped in a cloud. There was a rainbow over his head. His face was sun radiant, his legs pillars of fire. He had a small book open in his hand. He placed his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, then called out thunderously a lion roar. When he called out, the seven thunders called back. When the seven thunders spoke, I started to write it all down. But a voice out of heaven stopped me, saying, Seal with silence the seven thunders. Don't write a word. Then the angel I saw astride sea and land lifted his right hand to heaven and swore by the one living forever and ever, who created heaven and everything in it, earth and everything in it, sea and everything in it, that time was up, that when the seventh angel blew his trumpet, which he was about to do, the mystery of God, all the plans he had revealed to his servants, the prophets, would be completed. The voice out of heaven spoke to me again. Go take the book held open in the hand of the angel astride sea and earth. I went up to the angel and he said, Give me the little book. He said, Take it, then eat it. It will taste sweet like honey, but turn sour in your stomach. I took the little book from the angel's hand, and it was sweet honey in my mouth. But when I swallowed, my stomach curdled. Then I was told, "You must go back and prophesy again over many peoples and nations and languages and kings." Oops.
Perfecto. All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight on Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. We are getting ready now for Revelation chapter 11. Are you ready, Doc?
No, I'm not.
Okay, we can go anyway.
I'm trying. I'm on the learning curve at the moment.
Oh my goodness.
Almost there.
Actually, just to let you know, I use the U version for my Bible apps. I mean, my Bible studies as well as this type of reading, because it changes the versions right at the top of the screen, and that helps me a lot. So I use U version for everything. What was given to John? A reed, a crown, a book, a promise. What was given to John? A reed, a crown, a book, a promise.
All right. Revelation 11, verse 1. I'm trying. Then I was given a measuring rod like a staff, and I was told, "Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship there."
11:1 it is. A reed is the answer. Good job, ladies. What was John told to measure? The heavens, his guilt, the earth, the temple. What was John told to measure? The heavens, his guilt, the earth, the temple.
Revelation 11:1 again, I do believe. Then I was given a measuring rod like a staff, and I was told, "Rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and those who worship there."
Temple it is. Nice job, ladies. The angel said the Gentiles shall tread the holy city underfoot for 42 hours, 42 days, 42 weeks, 42 months. The angel said the Gentiles shall tread the holy city underfoot for 42 hours, 42 days, 42 weeks, 42 months.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous yet.
No, I'm getting there. I just hit something I shouldn't have hit. So
I'm not nervous yet.
all right. Which verse, Queenie?
11:2.
11:2. Revelation 11:2. But do not take the measure of the space outside the house, because it has been given to the nations, and the holy town will be under their feet for 42 months.
42 months it is. The two witnesses shall prophesy for this many days. 2, 3.5, 600, 1260. The two witnesses shall prophesy for this many days. 2, 3.5, 600, 1260.
Revelation 11:3. And I will give orders to my two witnesses, and they will be prophets for 1,260 days, clothed with haircloth.
Wow. It's just always amazing to me to do the math. Amazing. What will the witnesses be clothed in? White robes, they shall be uncovered. Sackcloth, purple. What will the witnesses be clothed in? White robes, they shall be uncovered. Sackcloth, purple.
Revelation 11, verse 3. And I will give orders to my two witnesses, and they will be prophets for 1,260 days, clothed with haircloth.
Haircloth it is, sackcloth synonymous. If any man hurt the two witnesses, this will come out of their mouth and kill their enemies. A two-edged sword, fire, venom, thunder. If any man hurt the two witnesses, this will come out of their mouth and kill their enemies. A two-edged sword, fire, venom, thunder.
Wouldn't want any of that, you know?
No, ma'am.
Revelation 11, verse 5. And if any man would do them damage, fire comes out of their mouth and puts an end to those who are working against them.
Fire it is. Great job, ladies. The beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall do this to the two witnesses: worship them, imprison them, capture them, kill them. The beast that ascended out of the bottomless pit shall do this to the two witnesses: worship them, imprison them, capture them, kill them.
Revelation 11:7. And when they have come to the end of their witness, the beast which comes up out of the great deep will make war on them and overcome them and put them to death.
Wowza. 11:7 it is. When the people see what the beast has done, they cry, attack the beast, rejoice, turn to God. When the people see what the beast has done, they cry, attack the beast, rejoice, turn to God.
Revelation 11:10. And those who are on the earth will have pleasure and delight over them.
Rejoice it is. 11:10. What did the two prophets do after 3.5 days? Stood up and ascended to heaven, died, escaped, killed the beast. What did the two prophets do after 3.5 days? Stood up and ascended to heaven, died, escaped, killed the beast.
Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the breath of life from God went into them, and they got up on their feet, and great fear came on those who saw them.
Stood up and ascended. These girls literally typed the answer faster than we can get the words out. When the seventh angel sounded, voices in the heavens said, the kingdoms of the world are become fearful, desolate, prosperous, the kingdoms of our Lord. When the seventh angel sounded, voices in the heavens said, the kingdoms of the world are become, I'm reading verbatim, fearful, desolate, prosperous, the kingdoms of our Lord.
Revelation 11:15. And at the sounding of the seventh angel, there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he will have rule forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, my friend, that takes us through another chapter.
All right. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm a little nervous.
All right. Revelation 11, the two witnesses. I was given a stick for a measuring rod and told, get up and measure God's temple and altar and everyone worshiping in it. Exclude the outside court. Don't measure it. It's been handed over to the non-Jewish outsiders. They'll desecrate the holy city for 42 months. Meanwhile, I'll provide my two witnesses, dressed in sackcloth. They'll prophesy for 1,260. These are the two olive trees, the two lampstands standing at attention before God on earth. If anyone tries to hurt them, a blast of fire from their mouths will incinerate them, burn them to a crisp, just like that. They'll have power to seal the sky so that it doesn't rain for the time of their prophesying, power to turn rivers and springs to blood, power to hit earth with any and every disaster as often as they want. When they've completed their witness, the beast from the abyss will emerge and fight them, conquer and kill them, leaving their corpses exposed on the street of the great city, spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, the same city where their master was crucified. For 3.5 days they'll be there, exposed, prevented from getting a decent burial, stared at by the curious from all over the world. Those people will cheer at the spectacle, shouting, "Good riddance," and calling for a celebration, for these two prophets pricked the conscience of all the people on earth, made it impossible for them to enjoy their sins. Then, after 3.5 days, the living Spirit of God will enter them. They're on their feet, and all those gloating spectators will be scared to death. I heard a strong voice out of heaven calling, "Come up here." And up they went to heaven, wrapped in a cloud, their enemies watching it all. At that moment, there was a gigantic earthquake. A tenth of the city fell to ruin. 7,000 perished in the earthquake. The rest frightened to the core of their being, frightened into giving honor to the God of heaven. The second doom is past, the third doom coming right on its heels. The last trumpet sounds. The seventh angel trumpeted. A crescendo of voices in heaven sang out, "The kingdom of the world is now the kingdom of our God and his Messiah. He will rule forever and ever." The 24 elders seated before God on their thrones fell to their knees, worshiped, and sang, "We thank you, O God, sovereign strong, who is and who was. You took your great power and took over, reigned. The angry nations now get a taste of your anger. The time has come to judge the dead, to reward your servants, all prophets and saints. Reward small and great who fear your name, and destroy the destroyers of earth." The doors of God's temple in heaven flew open, and the ark of his covenant was clearly seen, surrounded by flashes of lightning, loud shouts, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a fierce hailstorm.
Wowza. All right, ladies, thank you for joining us tonight on Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. We are now headed to Revelation 12. Doc, how is everything over there?
It's getting better.
Okay,
getting better, Queenie.
What was the woman clothed with? A cloud, the sun, a white robe, sackcloth. What was the woman clothed with? A cloud, the sun, a white robe, sackcloth.
Revelation 12, verse 1. And a great sign was seen in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars.
Sun it is. What was on her head? A crown of 12 stars, a crown of thorns, a crown of 12 rubies, oil. What was on her head? A crown of 12 stars, a crown of thorns, a crown of 12 rubies, oil.
Revelation 12, verse 1 again. And a great sign was seen in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and with the moon under her feet, and on her head was a crown of 12 stars.
We have Rockstar team right here. They did so great. What did the dragon cast from heaven with his tail? 1/3 of the elders, 1/3 of the stars, the woman, the woman's child. What did the dragon cast from heaven with his tail? 1/3 of the elders, 1/3 of the stars, the woman, the woman's child.
Revelation 12, verse 4. And his tail was pulling 1/3 part of the stars of heaven down to the earth.
Wow. Where did the woman flee? To God's throne, to the bottomless pit, to Egypt, to the wilderness. Where did the woman flee? To God's throne, to the bottomless pit, to Egypt, to the wilderness?
Waiting for the delay.
I know.
Here it is. Revelation 12, verse 6. And the woman went in flight to the wasteland. And where she was up. Let me try that again. I now can't read. And the woman went in flight to the wasteland where she has a place made ready by God.
Wilderness it is. Who fought against the dragon? The beast, Michael and his angels, Lucifer and his angels, Gabriel and his angels. Who fought against the dragon? The beast, Michael and his angels, Lucifer and his angels, Gabriel and his angels.
Revelation 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven, Michael and his angels going out to fight with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels made war.
12:7 it is. Michael and his angels is a winner. Where was the devil cast? Into heaven, into hell, into the earth, into the bottomless pit. Where was the devil cast? Into heaven, into hell, into the earth, into the bottomless pit.
Revelation 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was forced down, the old snake, who is named the evil one and Satan, by whom all the earth is turned away from right now. He was forced down to earth, and his angels were forced down with him.
How did the brethren overcome the accuser? By the blood of the Lamb and word of their testimony, with help from their guardian angel, by their works, thoughts, and deeds, by a humble and contrite spirit. How did the brethren overcome the accuser? By the blood of the Lamb and word of their testimony, with help from their guardian angel, by their works, thoughts, and deeds, by a humble and contrite spirit. How on earth, who is this? Let me just look quickly. Can you type faster than I can read? Donna. Oh my gosh. All right. Good job.
Revelation 12, verse 11. And
This is 10, actually.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
Through the blood of the Lamb and word of their witness? Sure it's not 11?
Oh, okay. There's two of them here. They started at 10 with the explanation.
Okay. Do you want me to start at 10, read 10 and 11? No?
It's up to you. We'll read the whole book after when this is over.
That's true. Revelation 12, verse 11. And they overcame him through the blood of the Lamb and the word of their witness. In loving not their lives, they freely gave themselves up to death.
Blood of the Lamb it is. Great job, ladies. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil came down into you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. The nations hate him. The nations have forgotten him. The nations love him. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil came down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows he has but a short time. The nations hate him. The nations have forgotten him. The nations love him.
Revelation 12, verse 12. Be glad then, O heavens, and you who are in them. But there is trouble for the earth and the sea, because the evil one has come down to you, being very angry, having the knowledge that he has but a short time.
Short time it is. Great job, ladies. What was the woman given? A silver shield, 2 wings of a great eagle, power to stop the rain, a signet ring. What was the woman given? A silver shield, 2 wings of a great eagle, power to stop the rain, a signet ring.
Revelation 12:14. And there were given to the woman 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she might go in flight into the wasteland.
2 wings of a great eagle it is. Who did the dragon make war with? The kings of the earth, the remnant of the woman's seed, the whole earth, the fallen angels. Who did the dragon make war with? The kings of the earth, the remnant of the woman's seed, the whole earth, the fallen angels.
Revelation 12:17. And the dragon was angry with the woman and went away to make war on the rest of her seed, who keep the orders of God and the witness of Jesus.
That takes us to the end of this chapter. How's it going?
Going. It just takes me a moment to switch over to Queenie. I think I've got it, at least, just these 2 apps.
Okay, good.
We'll see about everything else. Revelation 12, the woman, her son, and the dragon. A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman dressed all in sunlight, standing on the moon and crowned with 12 stars. She was giving birth to a child and cried out in the pain of childbirth. And then another sign alongside the first, a huge and fiery dragon. It had 7 heads and 10 horns, a crown on each of the 7 heads. With one flick of its tail, it knocked a third of the stars from the sky and dumped them on the earth. The dragon crouched before the woman in childbirth, poised to eat up the child when it came. The woman gave birth to a son who will shepherd all nations with an iron rod. Her son was seized and placed safely before God on his throne. The woman herself escaped to the desert to a place of safety prepared by God. All comforts provided her for 1,260 days. War broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought the dragon. The dragon and his angels fought back, but there was no match for Michael. They were cleared out of heaven, not a sign of them left. The great dragon, ancient serpent, the one called Devil and Satan, the one who led the whole earth astray, thrown out, and all his angels thrown out with him, thrown down to earth. Then I heard a strong voice out of heaven saying, Salvation and power are established, kingdom of our God, authority of his Messiah. The accuser of our brothers and sisters thrown out, who accuse them day and night before God. They defeated him through the blood of the Lamb and the bold word of their witness. They weren't in love with themselves. They were willing to die for Christ. So rejoice, O heavens, all who live there. But doomed to the earth and sea, for the devil's come down on you with both feet. He's had a great fall. He's wild and raging with anger. He hasn't much time, and he knows it. When the dragon saw he'd been thrown to the earth, he went after the woman who had given birth to the man-child. The woman was given wings of a great eagle to fly to a place in the desert to be kept in safety and comfort for a time and times and half a time, safe and sound from the serpent. The serpent vomited a river of water to swamp and drown her, but earth came to help her. Swallowing the water, the dragon spewed from its mouth. Helpless with rage, the dragon raged at the woman, then went off to make war with the rest of her children, the children who keep God's commands and hold firm to the witness of Jesus.
Wow's that again? Okay, we're doing pretty great on time. All right. Thank you for joining us tonight on Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. We're getting ready for Revelation chapter 13. Doc, are you ready?
I am ready, Queenie. Are you ready?
I hope so, yes. Where did John see the beast come from? Heaven, a cave, the sea, the sky. Where did John see the beast come from? Heaven, a cave, the sea, the sky.
Revelation 13, verse 1. And he took his place on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea, having 10 horns and 7 heads, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads unholy names.
This is says the name of blasphemy. One of its heads had a golden halo, was wounded unto death, disappeared, continually praised God. One of its heads had a golden halo, was wounded unto death, disappeared, continually praised God.
Revelation 13, verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as if it had been given a death wound, and his death wound was made well, and all the earth was wondering at the beast.
Wounded it is. Everyone worshiped the dragon after the beast's wound was healed, when he gave the people gold, when he bribed the kings of the earth, when he killed the beast. Everyone worshiped the dragon after the beast's wound was healed, when he gave the people gold, when he bribed the kings of the earth, when he killed the beast.
Revelation 13:4. Is that about right, Queenie? Okay. And they gave worship to the dragon because he gave authority to the beast. And worshiping the beast, they said, "Who is like the beast, and who is able to go to war with him?"
13:4 it is. Power given to him continued for this many months. 4, 19, 30, 42. Power gave to him continued for this many months. 4, 19, 30, 42.
Revelation 13, verse 5. And there was given to him a mouth to say words of pride against God, and there was given to him authority to go on for 42 months.
42 it is. You ladies are seriously awesome. It was given unto him to make war with the angels, with God, with the nations of the world, with the saints. It was given unto him to make war with the angels, with God, with the nations of the world, with the saints.
Revelation 13:7. And it was given to him to make war on the saints and to overcome them. And there was given to him authority over every tribe and people and language and nation.
Saints it is. Another beast came out of the earth and caused the earth to rejoice, mourn, pray, worship the first beast. Another beast came out of the earth and caused the earth to rejoice, mourn, pray, worship the first beast.
I'm guessing this is 11 and 12 because it kind of is one of those continuations.
Mixed together.
Okay. Revelation 13, 11, and 12. And I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and his voice was like that of a dragon. And he makes use of all the authority of the first beast before his eyes. And he makes the earth and those who are in it give worship to the first beast, whose death wound was made well.
Worship the first beast it is. Good job, ladies. My goodness. The beast deceived the earth with his lies by doing miracles for a day to believe God was dead. The beast deceived the earth with his lies by doing miracles for a day to believe God was dead.
Okay, I'm going to need a verse because I can't
14.
find one. 14. Okay. Revelation 13, verse 14. And those who are on the earth are turned from the true way by him through the signs which he was given power to do before the beast, giving orders to those who are on the earth to make an image to the beast, who was wounded by the sword and came to life.
Those who did not worship the image of the beast were imprisoned, ostracized, put out of the synagogue, killed. Those who did not worship the image of the beast were imprisoned, ostracized, put out of the synagogue, killed.
Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give breath to the image of the beast, so that words might come from the image of the beast, and that he might have all those who did not give worship to the image of the beast put to death.
Killed it is. No man could buy or sell without the mark of the beast on his clothing, arm, right hand or forehead, signet ring. No man could buy or sell without the mark of the beast on his clothing, arm, right hand or forehead, signet ring.
Revelation 13:16. And he gives to all, small and great, the poor and those who have wealth, the free and those who are not free, a mark on their right hand or on their brows.
The number of the beast is 792, 777, 666, 589. The number of the beast is 792, 777, 666, 589.
Revelation 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom. He who has knowledge, let him get the number of the beast, because it is the number of man, and his number is 666.
That's the end of this chapter. I love 60, that whole 40 and all that stuff. This says 603 All right, that takes us to the end of this chapter, Doc.
All right, Revelation 13 in the Message, the beast from the sea. And the dragon stood on the shore of the sea. I saw a beast rising from the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, on each horn a crown, and each head inscribed with a blasphemous name. The beast I saw looked like a leopard with bare paws and a lion's mane. The dragon turned over its power to it, its throne and great authority. One of the beast's heads looked as if it had been struck a death blow and then healed. The whole earth was agog, gaping at the beast. They worshipped the dragon who gave the beast authority, and they worshipped the beast, exclaiming, "There's never been anything like the beast. No one would dare go to war with the beast." The beast had a loud mouth, boastful and blasphemous. It could do anything it wanted for 42 months. It yelled blasphemies against God, blasphemed his name, blasphemed his church, especially those around dwelling with God in heaven. It was permitted to make war on God's holy people and conquer them. It held absolute sway over all tribes and peoples, tongues, and races. Everyone on earth whose name was not written from the world's foundation in the slaughtered lamb's book of life will worship the beast. Are you listening to this? They've made their bed. Now they must lie in it. Anyone marked for prison goes straight to prison. Anyone pulling a sword goes down by the sword. Meanwhile, God's holy people passionately and faithfully stand their ground. The beast from under the ground. I saw another beast rising up out of the ground. It had 2 horns like a lamb, but sounded like a dragon when it spoke. It was a puppet of the first beast, made earth and everyone in it worship the first beast, which had been healed of its death blow. This second beast worked magical signs, dazzling people by making fire come down from heaven. It used the magic it got from the beast to dupe earth dwellers, getting them to make an image of the beast that received the death blow and lived. It was able to animate the image of the beast so that it talked, and then arrange that anyone not worshiping the beast would be killed. It forced all people, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to have a mark on the right hand or forehead. Without the mark of the name of the beast or the number of its name, it was impossible to buy or sell anything. Solve a riddle, put your heads together, and figure out the meaning of the number of the beast. It's human number 666.
Alrighty then. Thank you for joining us tonight on Doc and Queenie Bible Trivia. We are ready for Revelation chapter 14. What do you think, Doc?
I think we can do it, Queenie. What do you think?
I think we got you covered. What did the 144,000 that stood with the Lamb have on their foreheads? A star, a seal, the mark of the beast, his father's name. What did the 144,000 that stood with the Lamb have on their foreheads? A star, a seal, the mark of the beast, his father's name.
Revelation 14:1. And I saw the Lamb on the mountain of Zion, and with him 144,000 marked on their brows with his name and the name of his father.
Father's name it is. From where did John hear voices? The earth, the sea, the bottomless pit, heaven. From where did John hear voices? The earth, the sea, the bottomless pit, heaven.
Revelation 14:2. And a voice from heaven came to my ears like the sound of great waters and the sound of loud thunder.
Harpers harping with their harps is what I get.
Oh, wow.
Harpers harping with their harps.
I've got
Say
like
that
the sound of
3 times.
players playing on instruments of music.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny, the different.
yeah. What instruments were they playing? Timbrel, trumpet, harp, drum. What instruments were they playing? Timbrel, trumpet, harp, drum.
It looks like verse 2 again, and mine is so descriptive, no
Yeah.
pun intended. And a voice came from heaven, came to my ears, like the sound of great waters and the sound of loud thunder. And the voice which came to me was like the sound of players playing on instruments of music. So I guess harps.
We're calling that harps. Yes, we are.
Yes.
What were they singing? Hymns, psalms, a new song, an old song. What were they singing? Hymns, psalms, a new song, an old song.
Oh, let's see.
3.
Is it 3? Okay, my version, it's sometimes it gets sketchy. So verse 3, Revelation 14, verse 3. And they made it as it seemed a new song before the high seat and before the 4 beasts and the rulers. And no man might have knowledge of the song but the 144,000, even those from the earth whom God has made his for a price.
A new song it is. John said another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the gospel, a divining rod, a book, fire in his bosom. John saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the gospel, a divining rod, a book, fire in his bosom.
Revelation 14, verse 6. And I saw another angel in flight between heaven and earth, having eternal good news to give to those who are on the earth and to every nation and tribe and language and people.
Gospel it is, ladies. Awesome. Another angel followed, saying, "This is fallen. The sky, man, goodness, Babylon." Another angel followed, saying, "This is fallen. The sky, man, goodness, Babylon."
Revelation 14, verse 8. And a second angel came after, saying, Destruction has come to Babylon the Great, which gave to all the nations the wine of the wrath of her evil ways.
Babylon it is. The third angel said, "Any man who takes the mark of the beast will be tormented with pestilence, boils, fire and brimstone, scorpions." The third angel said, "Any man who takes the mark of the beast will be tormented with pestilence, boils, fire and brimstone, scorpions."
Revelation 14:10. To him will be given the wine of God's wrath, which is ready unmixed in the cup of his wrath, and he will have cruel pain, burning with fire before the holy angels and before the Lamb.
Fire and brimstone, no, thank you.
Mm-mm.
John beheld one like unto the Son of Man that sat on a rock, chair, cloud, throne. John beheld one like unto the Son of Man that sat on a rock, a chair, a cloud, a throne.
Revelation 14:14. And I saw a white cloud, and on the cloud I saw one seated like a son of man.
Cloud it is. In his hand he had a book, a sickle, a trumpet, fire. In his hand he had a book, a sickle, a trumpet, fire.
Revelation 14:14. And I saw a white cloud, and on the cloud I saw one seated like a son of man, having on his head a crown of gold, and in his hand a sharp curved blade.
Sickle it is. This came out of the winepress unto the horses' bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Wine, oil, sweat, blood. This came out of the winepress unto the horses' bridles by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Wine, oil, sweat, blood.
Revelation 14:20. And the grapes were crushed underfoot outside the town, and blood came out from them, even to the headbands of the horses, 200 miles.
Wowza. That completes our chapter, Doc.
All right. Oh, I've got pop-ups now on my computer. I'm just having a night, Queenie.
I think it's going to be a cyber adjustment for you, my friend.
I think so. All right. Revelation 14 in the message reads, a perfect offering. I saw, it took my breath away, the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, 144,000 standing there with him, his name and the name of his Father inscribed on their foreheads. And I heard a voice out of heaven, the sound like a cataract, like the crash of thunder. And then I heard music, harp music, and the harpist singing a new song before the throne, and 4 animals and the elders. Only the 144,000 could learn to sing the song. They were bought from earth, lived without compromise, virgin fresh before God. Wherever the Lamb went, they followed. They were bought from humankind, first fruits of the harvest for God and the Lamb. Not a false word in their mouths, a perfect offering. Voices from heaven. I saw another angel soaring in middle heaven. He had an eternal message to preach to all who were still on the earth, every nation and tribe, every tongue and people. He preached in a loud voice, fear God and give him glory. His hour of judgment has come. Worship the maker of heaven and earth, salt sea, and fresh water. A second angel followed, calling out, ruined, ruined, great Babylon, ruined. She made all the nations drunk on the wine of her whoring. A third angel followed, shouting, warning, if anyone worships the beast and its image and takes the mark on forehead or hand, that person will drink the wine of God's wrath, prepared unmixed in his chalice of anger, and suffer torment from fire and brimstone in the presence of holy angels and the presence of the Lamb. Smoke from their torment will rise age after age, no respite for those who worship the beast and its image, who take the mark of its name. Meanwhile, the saints stand passionately patient, keeping God's commands, staying faithful to Jesus. I heard a voice out of heaven, write this. Blessed are those who die in the Master from now on. How blessed to die that way. Yes, says the Spirit, and blessed rest from their hard work. None of what they've done is wasted. God blesses them for it all in the end. I looked up, I caught my breath. A white cloud, and one like the Son of Man sitting on it. He wore a gold crown and held a sharp sickle. Another angel came out of the temple, shouting to the cloud enthroned, swing your sickle and reap. It's harvest time. Earth's harvest is ripe for reaping. The cloud enthroned gave a mighty sweep of his sickle, began harvesting earth in a stroke. Then another angel came out of the temple in heaven. He also had a sharp sickle. Yet another angel, the one in charge of tending the fire, came from the altar. He thundered to the angel who held the sharp sickle, swing your sharp sickle. Harvest earth's vineyard. The grapes are bursting with ripeness. The angel swung his sickle, harvested earth's vintage, and heaved it into the winepress, the giant winepress of God's wrath. The winepress was outside the city. As the vintage was trodden, blood poured from the winepress as high as a horse's bridle, a river of blood for 200 miles. Wow.
That's why I say every time we read the different chapters, really dive into the different verses, you just can't even imagine what this would be like.
No. Nor do I want to experience it.
No, ma'am. Well, Doc, the good news is it is time for us to say goodbye, because that will take us one step closer to next week. What do you think?
It sounds like a plan, Queenie, Lord willing.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this Thursday night for Bible Trivia with Doc and Queenie. If you'd like to check it out again, we're on weekly every Thursday at 7 p.m. We also are on Doc and Queenie Facebook Live on Mondays at what time, Queenie?
High noon.
So we'd love to have you watch on Mondays at high noon, but if not, we will see you back here on Bible Trivia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Donna and Janice and Andrea, for joining us this evening, and anyone who is watching the replay. Have a fantastic weekend and be blessed. Thank you, Queenie, and we will catch you all later. Take care. Good night now.
Bye now.